It's Clobbrin time!
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger, ready to move out.
Clobbrin time! Clobberonimo!
Come get some.
It's Clobbrin time!
The word is given.
Clobberonimo!
Yo, you. Greetings, my good friends. Welcome. Clobberers, clobberonimos, clobberuskis, clobberoids, clobblarians, clobberologists. All who clobber are welcome. Those who do not yet clobber, perhaps you will someday, as soon as you learn to. That is, bang the rocks together, guys. Welcome, everybody, to Clobbrin Times, issue number 506 on YouTube, 1,506 overall for the past 15 years. And here we are here once again gathered for Monday night Mark C. Comics Talk. This time open geek comics stuff, just whatever is comics related. If you want to ask any questions about comics or put a statement out there you want me to comment on about comics, it's just you and me, kid. And let's do that. My good friends first. Let me do some show notes and shout outs, shall we? First, I want to say a big thank you to everyone who hung out with me Saturday night. Our wonderful first officer number one could not be here. She had a shore leave to handle, but she'll be back next Saturday night. But you all hung out with me. We talked original Star Trek. I counted down my all-time favorite, well, from worst to first, all 79 episodes of Star Trek, the original series, ranked and then rated. So from 79 down to 1, I counted them down. And I want to tell you, you guys were all amazing. What a great fun time I had. I couldn't believe how many views I got. For me, I got a lot anyway. And what a great time we had, all of you. It just goes to show you, when we talk original Star Trek, people like to talk about it. People still love it. And I was just absolutely gratified to see how many people showed up and who watched it later to just talk about the original series. And I went through every single episode, worst to first, like I said, 79 down to number 1. And it was great fun. And our buddy Chief Engineer Mark D with the C joined me towards the end of the show, and we had some fun. He hung out with me for the top 10. And it was just a blast. I just cannot thank you enough for joining me. Thank you. And now we'll do some show notes and then some shout outs, shall we? First, I want to thank the great J-Man for tonight. I just got off the show with him and Sean for our 3 nights. 3 nights out of the month. We review, of course, my beloved Legion of Superheroes, their entire run, every appearance chronologically from 1958 to 1989, because it's the only ones that count. So say I, Clobby's Law, when it comes to Legion of Superheroes. Only the silver and the bronze age matters. Nothing after that matters at all. So saith I. And anyway, a lot of fun tonight doing 3 more issues. We're in the salad days. Now, oh my goodness. Past couple of weeks, Legion Bliss for fans. That was like our 44th show. We've done 44 shows. We're going to have a long way to go, but not a short time to get there. We did, and now we just got out of the Carrie Bates, Dave Cockrum bit. Now we're full into the Carrie Bates, Mike Grell era of the run. If you're a Legion of Superheroes fan, you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, great fun. And now, of course, here we are with Monday Night Mark Z Comics Talk. Tuesdays and Thursday nights, you can find me at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time over the great Tom Connors channel, the Midnight's Edge After Dark, hanging with that great group, commenting on pop culture, geekness, always, and it's a lot of fun. Love those guys over there. And then Wednesday nights, sometimes when he has it, my good buddy Stone Loki's Comic Book Roundtable. And then back here again, like my own channel right here on Clobby's channel, same Clobby time, same Clobby channel, Wild Card Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central to Eastern, which I will that's an anything goes, comics or whatever, geekness. Sometimes I'll put a topic in there, which I did recently, but a lot of times just let it flow. Whatever we want to talk about, we'll talk about. And then, of course, there's the Clubhouse, Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Again, same Clobby time, same Clobby channel. With my wonderful First Officer Commander R.M. Briggs. Her new book is out there, by the way. Her new book is out there. And I got to get that link up. If anyone can get that link to her new link, please do. We review of course, the great Mark D with the C joins us as well, our chief engineer. We review a Blake 7 episode, a Kolchak the Night Stalker episode, and the Star Trek Unlimited issue of the comic. So a lot of fun there. Please join us at the Clubhouse if you have not already. You'll enjoy it. And then it's back on Fantastic Fridays on my great buddy J-Man's channel. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Times every Friday night with J-Man and Sean and I. We'll continue our review of 4 issues a week, by the way, of the great Jack King Kirby's legendary run on the world's greatest comic magazine, the Fantastic Four. Issues number 1 through 102 and all 6 annuals. Lots of fun. It's been great. Man, start the week with Legion, end the week with Fantastic Four. It doesn't get much better than that. And usually after that, I can be found at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on my good buddy 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser's channel. Because, he is a great pal hanging with that august group of the Friday Night Comic Shop boys. They are amazing, and I love those guys over there. And I'm not sure what we're talking about this week, but it'll be fun, of course. And then this Saturday night Star Trek. Number 1 should be back this week, so we're back to the grind. Only a few more weeks to go. We'll be done with Voyager, folks. Hang in there. It's been a tough one. It's been grueling. But we'll have 4 more episodes of Star Trek Voyager, which I know you're just so excited about. So there you go. That is same Trek time, same Clobby channel, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. So there you go. And then finally on Sunday nights, as we were last night, and as we will always be, End Your Weekend Geek on the great Mark D with the C's channel, the engineer, the great extraordinary engineer, Sunday Night Geekery, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's always great fun to hang out with the Mark. So now, let me shout all of my good friends out. First, we go with our wrenches. The great Eric K., the Bronze Wrencher. Vindicator Wrench of the Great White North. Chris Persia, thank you, buddy, for all you do. Really appreciate you. Never can put it into words properly. And, of course, I hope you and your father are doing well. Hope your father's feeling better, buddy. Good luck to him. D. Bud Martin, the Wrench of Iron. I want to thank everybody out there, by the way, watching on a download or a rewatch. Love you lurkers out there. Love you rewatchers. It is much appreciated. Please, if you haven't already, please subscribe or consider subscribing and clicking like on the videos. It really helps. I thank you. Lord Thoth, God of the Wrenches. Avon lives. Long live the Legion, my friend. the aforementioned great J-Man, fantastic Legionnaire reviewer extraordinaire, and my partner in crime on Earth B. By the way, next Monday night, Earth B, our Bob Haney special at 6 p.m. Central. The great Maximum Redstone, our own music meister, Fanty Outsidey. What's up, buddy? The Rascally Wrench. Larry, a triple Bullwinkle Wrench. Wagner. I can't say it like Raquel, sorry. Our Slithery Wrench there. I am Kirok. JT Kirk, the great wrench. Maddie's Daddy, Thor in Vegas, and Super Wrench Cal-El. Now let me take a look and see who is with us in the chat that I have not been able to shout out yet. Let's see. Here we go. FKH C2005. Tim, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Joe Dog. What's up, Joe Dog, buddy? All right. Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Brian Hepburn. Hello, my friend. Dave C. What's up, Dave? All right, buddy. Hey, that 70s rock fan. What is up, Kimasabi? Everyone, of course, please, if anyone can get that link up there, get that 70s rock fans link. And please go subscribe to his great channel, an amazing channel, and a good friend. Brian, good to see you there, brother. And he has a great show there. Of course, he does great shows on Mondays and other days too, I think. 1701 Tex, bro, what's up? Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well, man. Let's see. Adrian James, hello there. Picasso, you're my kind of town. There's there we go. Thank you, JT, for putting Raquel's link up there. I do appreciate it. I got to get better links. I got to get those loaded. RJ Godzilla, what's up, RJ? Good to see you. Let's see here. Mars Monkey Max, hey. What is up, buddy? And there you go. Thanks, D-Bud. Subscribe to that 70s rock fan for sure. Great channel and a great friend of the channel here. One of our allies. One of our many channel allies that we have out there. And yeah, great stuff. What'd I do? Oh, something. Huh. Weird. Okay. Just checking something. Okay. There we go. You got it, buddy. Good to see you there, man. Dadman Walking. Dadman and the Dadman Clan. What's up, dude? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well, buddy. I hope your family and everybody, mom and everybody doing well, brother. So good to see you. So let's see. It is Monday night Mark C Comics Talk. To get the week set off right. We just talk comics here basically on Monday nights. Sometimes I have a comic book topic specific. Sometimes I don't. I don't have any specific topics tonight. 70s did a nice show on the 80th anniversary of D-Day today. Wow, excellent. Please go check that out, everybody. That sounds fantastic. Tex said, yo, that 70s rock fan, you review Olaf Stapleton and my man Doc Smith subscribed. Oh, yeah. I remember you mentioning Doc Smith before. Yeah. Oh, good Lord, man. Tex, I should have mentioned it before. That 70s is right up your alley, man. He's a great friend, and he knows his stuff, and he was a big time, obviously, rock fan, and of course he knows his science fiction and other geekness as well. So there you go. New subscriber there for you there, Brian. And here's the link. D-Bud's got that up there. Thank you, D-Bud. Appreciate it, buddy. A 70s show on the D-Day and Midway anniversaries. There's a link for that, everyone in the chat. Please, everyone, check that out. And it's always good to see my buddy dropping in there. So anyone has any questions or statements to make about comics that you want me to comment on? Because I don't have anything much. I'm trying to think. Look, I don't. You all know. Oh wow. Working on. Oh, cool, dude. Working on my next science fiction novel video right now. He does a lot of cool videos there, Tex. So I don't buy new crap, as you know. So it's tough for me to comment so much on that, but I'll do my best. But because this is a comic show, I can't really rant. I can't rant about the new shitty Doctor Who episode until Wednesday night when I have open, when I have open talk about geek stuff. So, but don't worry, Wednesday night, since it's an open show, I will rant about the filthy new Doctor Who trash. In name only, of course. You know what, Adrian James? I did not see the Venom trailer. I have to be honest about that. I didn't see it. I didn't realize. I didn't realize there was a trailer. I've been busy, but another thing is, I don't like the character Venom much. I have not seen, and there's very few comic book movies that I don't see or haven't seen. But I never watched either one of those Venom movies. I never was he was never one of my favorite Spidey villains. I know he's very popular, and I have no problem with that. Obviously, why would I? It's cool. A lot of people really like Venom, so I got to admit, now, not that I wouldn't watch the trailer, I just didn't even realize it was out there yet. So that you were saying there's a Venom trailer. There you go. Aren't we? We're not even getting any comic book movies except for Deadpool Wolverine, right? That's true, Phantom Outsider. I have seen the return of Captain Invincible, but that's not based on a comic book. It is a superhero type movie, though. But it's not based on a comic, as you well know. But you're right. I have seen it. And by the way, Joe Dog, just to address what you asked, I don't know, was it last night or whatever at Mark's channel? I need some notice, but I will review that comic that you want me to review just for you, but it may have to be next week. Hey, Lasher, what's up? Good to see you, Lasher. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Yes, I was just told Adrian just told me that they dropped that Venom 3 trailer today. I'll have to go check that out later. There are a few comic book movies I missed, but I didn't watch any of the Venom ones. I hear you, Fanty. I agree. So I'll definitely go check that trailer out later. I didn't see any trailers. Didn't see anything today out there. I didn't get to see much social media today. I won't get to see much of it tomorrow either, unfortunately. Oh my goodness. I do. Was it? It's not just because I'm not much of a Venom guy. I didn't watch Morbius either. And now we've got this Craven movie. Look, I know Sony's reaching because they don't have many of the properties, but they really think making movies about Spidey villains, obscure or otherwise, is going to do them any good. That Craven movie with what's his name, Aaron Taylor Johnson, was supposed to be released last August, and now it's still not out. It's probably not going to come out this year. Lasher says, it looks okay, but I didn't like the second one, so I don't really know about this one. Yeah. I got you. Yeah, a lot of people have said that about the second one. I've not seen either of them, but yes, I understand. But why make a Kraven the Hunter movie? I almost get Venom. Venom's had his own. I mean, Venom has had his own comic books. Okay, Kraven's just as a Spidey villain. Morbius has had a few comics on his own, but the movie was so unnecessary. I didn't even bother. What are they going to do next? Yeah, a Rhino movie? Rhino's in. I think Rhino's actually in Kraven. Doc Fortune. What's that, Doc? Not a fan of Kraven, huh? Says Kraven sucks. His outfit looks dumb, and he's not even a close match to a match for Spider-Man. Yeah, but I've always kind of liked him as a Spidey villain. There are a lot of villains I like that I don't think need their own movies. Dearest, hey, Dearest, a Stiltman movie. That's it. Who wouldn't go see a Stiltman movie? I love my boy J-Man, and I joke with him about Stiltman all the time. He loves Stiltman. Yes, I love Captain Invincible is great though. Fancy, yeah, and I see what you're saying. Yes, a Stiltman movie. There you go. Fancy Dan, yeah, there you go, D-Bud. Give Fancy Dan a movie. And Doc Fortune wants a Snapper car movie. There you go. Snap. Chris Persia. What's up, bro? I hope you're doing well, man. Good to see you, buddy. Adrian James says, I'm looking forward to Superman. I hope it's going to be good. Adrian, just keep those deflectors up double front. I mean, in other words, don't get hopes too high. It is James Gunn, but if it turns out to be good, that would be nice. But just don't keep the guard on those hopes, if you would, because with all the things that have happened to Superman. A Bad Gamergate, what's up? Now I agree. You know what, Bad Gamergate? I agree with that. Craven's Last Hunt was a great comic. And at that time, I wasn't reading Spidey much because I don't like the black costume. I'm that guy that doesn't like the black costume. But and that was when he was wearing it. That's a really good story. I agree with you. Absolutely. MMM says, what they're doing for Kraven is what they should have done for Moon Knight. But the Moon Knight show was horrible. And started a break-off project for the Midnight Suns like they did for the Avengers and X-Men. Yeah. RJ Godzilla says, making movies based on Spidey's various villains could have worked, but they need to be better written. Craven's had a bit added to his character retroactively since his resurrection. Here's the thing, though. Here's why I don't think it'll work. Hey, Andy Masterson, what's up, bro? Good to see you, man. Here's the thing. I don't think it'll work. Let's just say, for example, the Kraven movie turns out to be a good movie. I'm skeptical. It's not going to be in theaters anytime soon. I'm skeptical because even if it's a good movie, nobody knows who that is. You have to have bankability when you make a big movie about a character. Even if it's a good movie, it's not going to get a lot of play because people when they see Kraven the Hunter, they're not even going to think about Spider-Man unless only a comic book geek knows who Kraven the Hunter is. Only a comic book geek knows. Thank you, RJ. Yes, I hate that black costume. Yes, Bad Gamer good. I actually liked the Werewolf by Night special. It was pretty cool. And if it would never have made any money as a movie, it did okay on that app, I guess, the Disney app. But I like that. I actually thought it was pretty decent, pretty cool. Enjoyed it. It was very rare because Marvel, so much of what Marvel and Disney does is so trashy and horrible now. Adrian, I don't know. even when the trailer comes out, just be careful. Like I said, I'm not going to jinx it for you myself because I can't affect it anyway. I'm just saying I don't really trust James Gunn that much. But I'll tell you this: I will go unless something really drastic comes out and we see something that looks inexcusable. I'll give it. I'm going to go watch it either way. I will give it a chance, but that's up to Gunn not to screw this thing up, not me. So we'll see. By the way, again, anyone have any comic related comments or questions? Because it's Mark C. Comics Talk night. It's open talk that you want me to comment on or answer. I'm here for you. That's what tonight's all about. Phantom Outsider says, but he's not Craven the Hunter. He's Craven the animal activist. At least that's what an article says he will advocate for. Yeah, it's going to be crap. Oh, I think it's going to be crap. Yeah. And Lasher says, I did finally get around to finishing X-Men 97. I honestly liked it. Disney should make a second season. Put it down while it's good. I think they're making a second season. I liked it also. Lasher. So there you go. Lasher also said the problem with villain movies is that they turn them into anti-heroes. Agreed. Or they're not dark enough. They're villains. They should be villains. My biggest problem is the fundamentally what villains are all about. Villains are there. Look, when it comes to heroic fiction, and that's my favorite kind of fiction, I guess, because I'm still a kid in a sense. I love heroic fiction, and when it comes to heroic fiction, the villain is there for one purpose. One purpose only, as a function for the hero. That's why you've rarely seen, now you've seen it more lately. There have been rarely any times where they've had actual comics based on just a villain. And the times it's happened, it's not been very successful. In the early 70s, DC gave the Joker his own title, and it failed. Because at that time, there were clear and distinct demarcations between a hero and a villain, because that's what comic books were. Not too long after that, Marvel tried it with supervillain team up. Didn't last long. They weren't bad books; they were okay because they did have heroes in them, but supervillain team up. You know, you had Doctor Doom and Submariner there most of the time. Sometimes Magneto and the Red Skull. But kids buy the comic books for the superhero. Now, a great villain is key and crucial to a great story. No question about it. The Joker's a great villain. The comic didn't sell back then. So now things are different now because it's a different time, a different industry, and all that stuff. But villains they don't need their own movies. They don't need their own comics, really. You could do it, and they do it once in a while. Or they do it in comic books, and at least in comic books, that's where these characters start. So when they try it with a comic book, that's not a big deal. It's just they didn't do it very often, and now we live in different times. Comics are really put out by a bunch of degenerates now, even more so in the 70s, although there were a lot of them. 70s, 80s, 90s. But there just have never been that many titles about villains. They're about the heroes. Now you get movies. And which one? I mean, let's see. What was technically Venom started out as a villain. And then he later had sort of like an anti-hero. He had his own character. I think even Flash Thompson became him for a while. It was crazy, but he's been all over the place. Morbius started out as a villain, and he became something sort of like an anti-hero. But he's still pretty much a villain. Nobody cared. Nobody really. Some people thought Venom was okay. I didn't go watch it. And most people didn't. Said Morbius was pretty laughable. And Andy Masterson, that's correct. Today's writers identify with villains, not heroes. Absolutely. And they should go somewhere else to do that. Not comics and not comic book related movies. But now in a lot of these, in the MCU/MCU movies, they try to make these characters, these villains, too sympathetic. Hello there, Penny. Good to see you, my dear. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It dilutes the character and it makes the villain less interesting, to be honest. A villain can be interesting and they don't have and be still rotten and horrible. Doctor Doom's a great villain. He's not nice. Loki was a great villain in comics, even for a while in the movies, but now, yeah. Oh, boy, did they ruin him. Fanty. I could sell these clowns a Kanjaro movie. Wow. It's just him complaining about his latest defeat, past defeats. And he goes in tag. Yeah, there you go. Kanjaro. Wow. That's a good one. Yeah, last year, and that's true. Last year, it's true. Venom was popular in the 90s for some reason. I never cared for him that much, to be perfectly honest with you, but a lot of people liked him, and that's fine. Yeah, whatever, man. I was never big on him. I kind of tapped out reading Spider-Man for a while there anyway. But I don't need to like my villains. I mean, I like them in the sense that that's a great. In other words, no one personally likes Doctor Doom or the Joker, but they're great villains because they make the heroes look even better. They're well established, well conceived concepts as villains. Namor, the subby, was something of an anti-hero, but sometimes he had his own comic, and he was more of the closer to the protagonist, to the good guy, even though he had his faults. And I love Namor, great character, but he's more complex than that. Namor. Is that Namor, JT? So, yeah, they don't need to. They need to cut it out with this stuff. Cut it out with the giving us these villains and stuff. I mean, Echo, that horrible show. I mean, that character was based on a kind of a anti-hero type, but pretty much a villain. But they don't even look. The MCU can't distinguish between a hero and a villain anyway. And they flat out turned a hero into a villain with Wanda. And I don't want to hear any more crap about John Byrne's Darker Than Scarlet. Yes, it's true. In comics, they did that to Wanda, but then they changed her back. But the thing is, I didn't like it when they did it to her in the comic book. Dark Phoenix Saga was great. Then Byrne ripped it off. He was part of it, and then he ripped it off twice after that. He turned Wanda bad for a while, Darker Than Scarlet, or whatever the hell that story was called, for West Coast Avengers. And then later he did it to Sue Richards, Malice. And but again, she came back from it at least. In the MCU, Wanda's, I really liked that. Was it Elizabeth Olsen who was, she pops up in Age of Ultron and she's in a few movies as the good Scarlet Witch or Wanda. I liked her. She was good. Then to get that shitty WandaVision TV show. Started out kind of promising. At the end, they turned her into a villain and they didn't give her any redemption from it. And then stupid Doctor Strange 2 Electric Boogaloo. She's the villain in that. And I love how that idiot Disney just assumed that people who would go see that movie because they like the other Doctor Strange movies would know know what happened to Wanda. If they like those Marvel movies, but they don't watch the stupid Disney Minus app, they probably walked in there going, why is she evil? Wasn't she good in those other movies? I'm talking about Joe Public, Well, no, yeah, she was, boss, and then now she's bad. What do you mean? It was on that TV show, WandaVision. Wanda Whatty? They don't know what that is. RJ says, Brian Michael Bendis really contributed to the whole Wanda is a villain thing. Yes, in House of M. Yeah, he did. Oh, yeah, he brought it back, but he didn't start it. You're right, he did. Brian Michael Bendis is the worst. Oh, it's tough to say who the worst comic book writer of all time is. He is the oncoming storm of comic book writers. You want a character ruined beyond all recognition? You want to assassinate a comic book character? Call BMB. Holy crap, that guy sucks. He's the worst, man. He destroyed, what was it? Oh, hey, Robert Anderson. Hello there. Welcome. Welcome to Clobbrin Times. Fady says, how about Khazar movie? A Khazar movie? Yeah, hey. You say Khazar or Khazar? He saves activists from lizard people. They berate him on killing lizard people. Dinos show up to eat them. Khazar and Sabu shrug off, walk off. Well, that works for me. Let's see. Robert says, WandaVision, where she kidnapped and tortured an entire town who were begging to die to end their suffering. That was an odd movie for her. An odd move for her, yeah. Odd move for her, yes. It was awful. It was awful. And at no time did she come to her senses. And by the way, here's the thing about that, Robert. It's, in Darker Than Scarlet and other stories, they, at least like in Dark Phoenix, take Dark Phoenix. Dark Phoenix was not in her right mind. You could say that there was, but in the end of WandaVision, it's never, Wanda's got control of herself. She just went evil anyway. It's not like she's really being all that possessed or anything. I think she just let it. It's terrible. Absolute trash. And it's a shame because she was a likable character before. Yeah, I agree. Doc Fortune, JMS. Look, I have a soft spot for JMS because of Babylon 5. JMS did some horrible comics, man. He did some good ones, usually with characters that weren't established. They need to keep his ass away from established characters. His Spider-Man trash was garbage, in my opinion. His Superman stuff was horrible. His Brave and the Bold stuff was horrible. I love the 12 that he wrote a book called The 12 that I really liked. Because they're characters that no one really knew anything about because they were from the Golden Age. But Jesus Christ. Hello there, Davina Duckworth. Welcome. Good evenings. Good to see you. So, Brian Michael Bendis, and again, I didn't care for Rebirth, so I didn't bother. But many of my friends who were reading Superman at the time were really liking what came after Rebirth, and they were liking the Peter Tomasi run on Superman and Super Sons. And it was popular. It was doing well, and I believe it. Look, those are friends I trust, so I just didn't want to touch DC or Marvel anymore. But I understood that. I believed them, that it was good. I really did, because I understand, I trust their opinions. So I wasn't following it. But then I looked in it time to time. And anyway, along comes, somehow, for some reason, Brian Michael Bendis must have pictures of, he must have bribery pictures, because DC takes him in to write Superman, to take over Superman from Tomasi. And they had these for months now. They would have these posters at the stores saying Brian Michael Bendis is here, or Bendis is here, or Bendis is coming, or whatever. They were threatening for months that Bendis is taking over Superman. Maximum Redstone, what's up, buddy? So it was a threat, I guess. And sure enough, what he did to Superman was atrocious. Everyone who was really liking the book hated it, but he got his little paycheck. And then worse, they put him on Legion of Superheroes. Now, as you know, every month, every 3 times out of the month, my good buddy J-Man and I, and Sean and I, we review Legion of Superheroes, but only the Silver and Bronze Age run. We love it. I love this Legion. I don't like new drivel. I don't like modern Legion at all. That said, I looked at all the forums of people who do read the modern Legion stuff. I don't know how they could do it, but that's just my opinion. And everybody, almost everyone to a man, was like, holy shit, this is horrible. Holy shit. They were saying this is garbage. And they, to me, their standards were low enough by accepting any of the other modern Legion crap. And they were saying, like, this is awful. Everybody was pissed at him for his Superman and for his Legion. But what are you going to do? RJ Godzilla says, I like JMS's Spider-Man stuff, mostly except the stuff he was forced to write. Well, again, that's cool. I didn't like it myself, but Deer says, looking back, I think Bendis should write novels. I wish he would have. Davina says, I'd love to see a Timothy Truman style Hawk World show or movie. Yeah, I love Timothy Truman, by the way. He was great. I think my favorite thing by Truman was his Grimjack stuff. But let's see. He wrecked Young Justice. Well, that figures. He sucks. Fans of B5, the novel, says Bad Gamer Gate. He says, To Dream in the City of Sorrows by Catherine Drennan relates the story of Jeffrey Sinclair between season 2 and 3, and it's definitely worth the read. It is supposed to be canon. Oh, okay, well, nice. Peter David wrote some novels too. Some B5 novels also, right? So yeah, good old Babylon 5. I love it. Fancy dude, are you crazy? That's true, Bad Gamergate. Peter David also wrote some episodes. This is a fanny here. A Terraman movie in it, when which he comes to Earth and goes to a Clint Eastwood Film Festival, then goes in the theater, and we all watch a fistful of dollars for the sequels he sees. Yeah, well, Terraman's one of the greatest villains of all time. Yeah, good old Terraman. Hey, don't be dissing Terraman. Come on, man. It's a great villain. Scribe Light, what's up, dude? Good to see you. Terraman is freaking fancy, dude. Oh man, I know it's not comics related, but I know you all can't wait to watch the Crapalite tomorrow. Nah, I'm sorry. We're just doing comics tonight because I shouldn't even mention it. That's going to be tomorrow night's going to be oh man. Wednesday, that is, when after the fallout. Wednesday is going to be something. Yes, sir. Well, anyway, modern comics are bollocks. I mean, when was the last time you bought? I mean, did some of you buy any of those modern stuff? Davina says, I'll be looking for those Grimjack comics. There's some omnibus editions online. Yeah, Grimjack, well, by Ostrander and Timothy Truman. The early issues, which were initially it was a backup in Star Slayer back in the early 80s. After Rocketeer ran its course in Star Slayer, Davina, you probably know this, but Grimjack ran in the back of a Star Slayer as a backup. It then got its own series, and I love the early ones when Timothy Truman was on it. A little bit later, it changed a little bit. Scribelight just got the new issue of Savage Sword and Conan #2. A lot of my friends are buying those new Conan books, the new Conan comics, I should say. I haven't buying anything new, even things that sound pretty good. I haven't really been buying any of it. But yeah, Grimjack was really cool. I used to like it a lot. And yes, I don't know. I think there's some omnibus. I'm gonna buy out there. Yeah, Mark D with the C is the only one that buys new comics, says D Bud Martin. He's not the only one. No, I saw your Toy Man movie, Fanty. It was going by fast. Sorry. I meant to start. I missed it. Sorry, buddy. All right. Here's the perfect Superman villain movie, Toy Man. He develops a toy that kids love and activists protect his great toy and try to ban it. And then he goes Toy Man on them. Well, it works for me, buddy. Bought the first issue of the new Savage Sword of Conan. Says text, meh. Oh, really? Wow. Not good, huh? I did not get that. Some people have been liking it, but I've not, yeah. Lasher says, no, last summer went to a comic shop or comic store that only sold modern comics. It was very unrecognized. Oh, good Lord. Yeah. Can't get into those myself either. That's why Davina Duckworth says, first comics feels like a long time ago. Got the American Flag collection a year or two ago. Yeah, first comics was a long time ago. Was a long, long time ago. Bad Gamer Gets says, were you a big indie buyer in the 80s? Had a soft spot for the Southern Nights. I remember Southern Nights. I don't know if I bought that one, but I remember it. See, I was working in comic shops all throughout the 80s. I was running for some other people. Then I owned my own there. And I'm not supposed to say that around here, but so I remember all the indie comics of the 80s. I loved a lot of them. I was getting, when I first started working in the comic shop in 1982, I believe, 81ish, 82, I was just getting close to, it was around 17 years old. So I was still loving my superhero stuff, but I was at that age when I wanted to branch out. I love the art form so much. And they started coming out with some things like Cerebus, and the 2080 Titan albums were coming over here. Bad Gamer Gate, yes. Boris the Bear, I bought those. Love Boris the Bear for the early ones by James Dean Smith. And I started, still loved my mainstream stuff, but I started buying just about any independent book that would come out. I love a lot of the first comics. I was never that. I have a lot of personal issues with Howard Chaykin that I don't want to go into here, but I don't like him. But oh wow, Davina, you got the Cerebus telephone books? Great, have a bunch of those. But I like Cerebus. Friends of mine were into ElfQuest. I wasn't so much into it, but I love Judge Dredd. I love a lot of the other 2000 AD series. And then around that time, I started getting really big into Alan Moore, so I got everything he did. He was, discovered him on Swamp Thing. Started getting his British stuff, Warrior Magazine, and some of his Titan albums. And anything he would do, I would buy Alan Moore and Frank Miller and stuff like that. And yeah, man, I loved Star Slayer and The Rocketeer and Grimjack and John Sable freelance. I loved a lot of those independent comics. I've done a few shows about that here and there. Camelot 3000 is another one that I did. I love Mike Barr's art. That comic kept taking forever to come out. All right, Tex, be good, bro. Thanks for being there, buddy. Lasher, I would dare say that you're not the only one, so there's definitely two of us out there. I hate the DC animation style right now, and I don't like their movies much anyway. I really couldn't stand. I've hated this Crisis on Infinite Earths that they're doing right now. I think it's awful, and I'm someone who was a big critic of the comic when it came out. Titan is doing large magazine-sized Conan books now. Yes, that's what I've heard. I've heard that, dearest. Yeah. But yes, Bad Gamer Gay. I loved, as I mentioned, I loved Boris the Bear. Canadian Spider-Man does what a Canadian spider can. But yes, Davina, the artwork by Brian Boland and Camelot 3000 was fantastic. The problem was with that comic at the time, if you were around at the time, it would take forever. After the first 4 or 5 issues, they get more and more delays because Brian Boland was kind of slow. Mars Monkey Max. Yep, exactly. I can't stand it either. And the Brian Boland was really slow, and there were some problems going on there. So by the time they get to like issue 9 or 10, we went a year and a half between like 9 and 10, I think, or maybe it was 10 and 11. I can't remember exactly. We went almost a year, more than a year between 11 and 12. It was a 12-issue maxi series. Well, see, there you go, Davina. You bought it. Okay, you got it as a trade paperback. Yeah. That was, whatever, a lot of the more classic series of the 80s. At the time that they're now are trade paperback, were, obviously there were floppies, they were independent, they were, those are compilations, the ones you got now. But so waiting for them sometimes was a pain in the ass. Miller's Dark Knight Returns, that took a while. Watchmen started to get big delays toward the end of Watchmen. A lot of those books, Miller's Ronin, whatever it was, there was a big mini series, Not all of them, but all those specialized ones in the special format, the direct sales ones, took freaking forever, man. And they weren't the only ones. A lot of Matt Wagner's Mage took about there were 15 issues of that sucker. It must have took them like 15 years, or it felt like it. Mars, have you seen the stills of the new Batman show? It looks worse than what they're currently. Yeah, Bruce Timm. Look, you should have no faith in Bruce Timm anymore. Bruce Timm is an activist, sellout, jackass, and that I would, he's doing it. Look, anytime Jar Jar Abrams is contracting you to do something. So this is Jar Jar Abrams and Bruce Timm. They're both jackasses. Yes, I love Batman animated series as much as the next guy. I love it. But Bruce Timm has been an asshead for a while and an activist jerk off for a while and a snot bag who doesn't like fans and treats fans like shit for a while. And this Batman show you go, in theory, it takes place in the 40s. That's kind of cool. But it's going to be full of woke dribble. And I don't do politics on this show, but I can at least state stuff like that when I know it's come from something like that. We don't talk politics show this here. We just talk comics and comics and Star Trek and Doctor Who. We still are going too deeply into politics, but I'll just tell you, this is going to be activist horse shit. The Batman show. Jeremy Winfield, hello there. Good to see you. Welcome. So it's a shame. It's a damn shame. Makes me sad. Davina said they're harder to read. By the end of the Cerebus run, Dave Sim, various obsessions changed the comic. It did. Dave Sim went nutty. I could tell you, Davina, I could tell you about Dave Sim. And met him a few times in the 80s, in the 90s, I think, too. And he's a nice enough guy. Well, no, actually, he was interesting, but he was nice to us. But the thing is, he got in a lot of controversy, a lot of trouble. He said he was going to do 300 issues of Cerebus, and by golly, he did it. By God, he did it. But I didn't. I stopped buying the series a long time ago. One friend of mine, I know one person on the planet, and he's not the only one, I'm sure, who bought every single issue of the comic Cerebus. He bought every phone book, and he bought the book after that he did, Glamour Puss. He did anything with Cerebus, he'll buy it from R. Mark Manaheim, but it's crazy, man. Me too, Gwag. I met him. I remember I bought when I first saw Cerebus. It wasn't in the comic shop. This guy he was selling comics in his front garage. And I helped him start a comic shop later. And he had Swords of Cerebus number 1 and 2, and I got them from him. And I got some of the regular issues. That was before the phone books. It was just Swords of Cerebus. Putin's cat, what's up? Good to see you. I taught it to a Putin's cat. I did taught Putin's cat. So I rendered many years later. I brought that to get signed by him and Gerhard, even though Gerhard was not drawing the comic at that point. I got him to sign it, and Dave Sim says, "Where'd you get this?" I said, "Well, I mean, I told him, and he said, this has got a different cover. This is only like 2,000. This wasn't even printed. I can't believe you got this." So I have a rare Swords of Cerebus with a 2,000 limited cover that I didn't know was limited, signed by Dave Sim. And I asked Gerhard to sign it, and he said, "Well, I wasn't even working on the series at that point. None of my work's in there." I said, "Well, just write, you weren't born yet or something." So he signed it and wrote, "I wasn't born yet." So, but he was a nice enough dude. Yeah. I have a few issues of Glamour Puss, says Devanna Duckworth. They have good discussions of Alex Raymond's art. Yeah, I love Alex Raymond. I'm a big Alex Raymond fanatic. This is Monday night. Putin's cat is Monday night Mark C. Comics Talk. For those who don't know, Monday night Mark C. Comics Talk is named after a very dear, unsadly departed friend of ours who passed away in 2021, who used to do my show with me when I moved to YouTube. He came and did a lot of shows with me about comics. He was a great friend who lived in my area, who bought comics for me when he was a kid. And he was a lot younger than me, I guess. And he was an excellent comic artist and an excellent comic book mind and geek mind. He knew his stuff. A great friend of the show and a great friend of everyone here. And so many people knew Mark C. and respected him. And when he tragically passed away, I felt it was the least I could do but to name the show after him, Mark C. Comics Talk. And I don't explain that enough, so I thought I would throw it out for new people who don't know. So we love our dear friend. It was a very big shock when he passed. And Ravenscroft, good to see you, my friend. And so show will always be devoted to him and always be Mark C. Comics Talk. Monday night, Mark C. Comics Talk, I should say. Fanty says, if you ask Stan Lee to sign it, he'd have told you how he created Serum. I remember I said, Dave, how about we create an Aardvark? He won't be like Howard the Duck. He'll be even worse. and he'll do really lousy, horrible things to people. It'll be sort of like Howard, except he won't be in the Marvel universe. And then I created it for Dave Sim. But I said, you can have it because I don't want to get in trouble. Because I created everything else. That's the way Stan would handle it, I guess. I remember when I created the Phantom Outsider. Man, I remember when I created J.T. Kirk. I created all of you. I remember when I created creating things. Remember that? That was great stuff. Boy, I don't even understand it either. So if you're trying to understand all that, don't, because I can't understand it either. So, open talk, open geek foolishness tonight. But comic related open geek talk. Dearest, he did. I remember I created the green llama, but I said, they don't have llamas that are green, so I'll let somebody else do it. And then he made a superhero called that name. I said, why didn't I think of that? J.T. Kirk. He also created Jennifer Lawrence, who created him, who created Jennifer Lawrence, who created him. That's true. Yeah. I don't even understand it now. So, this year, comics. I have something. Oh, I know. No, I know. I almost freaking forgot again, but I got it now. My memory is horrific, but I guess sometimes it'll kick off eventually. Oops, but it went in the wrong direction. Memory worked. The aim was bad. My mouse clicking was bad. Okay. Something we always like to do in the second hour of Open Geek Comic Talk. Let's see. I'm going to pick the year because we're doing random years. And since we were talking about 80s stuff, we're going to go with 1980. We've already done 82 to death. We're going to go with 1983. And we're going to go with, well, it's June now. We're going to go publication date. So, we just started the month of June, folks. And, well, it's actually, we're going to go 1984 since this is 2024. We'll do other years later, of course. All right, this is Clobby's special Spinnerack time machine. Going to pull a rabbit out of his hat. Joaquin. For those of you who were buying comics back then, let's see. Oh, Jeremy Winfield, thank you for the super chat. You're too kind, my friend. He says, in this Clown World timeline, all of you say, stay you. All of you stay you. Okay. All of you stay you. Sorry. Excuse me. I got that wrong. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you, Jeremy. What? Okay. All right. Okay, so 40 years ago this month. We'll go 50 in a minute. So these are the comics that were available on the racks. Some only in comic shops, many in regular stores. I'm going to basically run down these and see which ones I bought. And here's the problem. Since I was selling these things, I can't remember what ones I bought, distinguish the ones I bought from the ones I just sold to somebody. But I'll give it a shot. I'll say, no, I didn't buy Kool-Aid, man. Oh, Lord. I bought Amazing Heroes. That's number 50. I had every issue of Amazing Heroes for the whole decade, probably. Archie Circus, no sir. Number 1. Bernie Wright's and Master of the Macabre. I bought that from. Oh yeah. Doctor Who magazine, yes sir. I bought those. I can't say about these Flash Force books though. From DC, that wasn't my thing. Comics focus on John Byrne. I was really pissed off at Byrne at that point, so I don't think I bought that one. Well, there's Doctor Who. There are Doctor Who comics in there, Davina, but it's Doctor Who magazine coverage of the TV show. But there is a Doctor Who comic in there at the back. So, Mighty World of Marvel, that's UK, so I would have bought it if I could, but I couldn't. I remember this Nemo Classics Library, but I didn't really buy that too much. Savage Sword of Conan UK, Scooby-Doo Summer Special. A lot of UK on here. Spidey UK, more Spider-Man and Power Pack I did not buy. Star Wars Return of the Jedi Summer Special. Yeah, that's UK. Dead's UK, a lot of UK on here. Dalgota. Okay. I bought this. I don't know why. It just looked weird, so I bought it. From Fantagraphics. I think they had a backup in this one. No, the backup wasn't in this one yet. Sorry. I bought this one. I could find it. This is Warrior Magazine. I couldn't always get it, but Alan Moore working there, of course. Maddie's daddy, what's up, buddy? What's up, bro? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope Maddie's doing well, bud. How you feeling, man? Now, here's one I wish I had been able to be to the UK to get this because I couldn't get it much. But I bought about a bunch of issues. Just we weren't getting them yet. That's, of course, 2001. Listen to me. I always say 2001 like an idiot. 2000 AD. Progs featuring Judge Dredd. I'm an imbecile. All healed up? Good, bro. Good to hear it, man. Excellent. Where else? What else? So let's see. I bought this. Never missed it. I bought this. Bernie Wrightson, you kidding me? It was just reprints, but you know. Doctor Who magazine. Buddy. Yep. And this is before we could even see the episodes. Okay, and I'm caught up now. Let's see. I was not buying Avengers anymore. I wasn't buying the regular Conan book. I was buying Dreadstar, though. Dreadstar was a good comic by Starlin. Good comic. Gwag says, Clobbrin is using a little bit of creative license. When I met Stan Lee, he didn't talk about the fact that he created everything about the comic book industry. It was just assumed you already knew. I wouldn't use the word fact, buddy, but I hear you. You're right. Well, look, what I was doing, Gwag, is I was employing hyperbole the way Stan always did, but no one could do it as well as he did, of course. Over the top hyperbole. Is that a redundant statement? Because I do work for the Department of Redundancy Department. Anyway, anybody else read Dreadstar? Good comic. Yeah, Dalgota was pretty good, Davina, but I think I started buying that later because it has a running strip in the back of it called the Bo Jeffries Saga by Alan Moore. So I had to have it because back then I bought everything that Alan Moore did. Still have it all, too. But yeah, there's Epic. I didn't buy Epic much. And that's a yucky cover, I think. The Fly, Archie, look, my fly's open. I wasn't buying any of these. I wasn't buying a lot of mainstream comics at this point. I'd even stopped buying ROM so much to my now regret. About this though, the comic book adaptation of Banana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Keely Chow, roll tide, buddy. I have a trade paperback of Dreadstar, The Secret of M. I think, oh, cool, nice. Agree. Yes, bad Gamergate. That's true. It was heavy. It was Marvel's Heavy Metal. There was a time when I also bought everything Alan Moore did, and then I bought Lost Girls, and that trend came to an end. Well, I can understand that was crap that I'm proud to say I don't have in my collection. Davina says I ended up getting as much Mobius as I could, the old Epic trade paperbacks and the Dark Horse collections. Nice. Yeah, this was a pretty decent comic book adaptation of a movie right here. Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom. Did anyone else buy Normal Man? I bought Normal Man. I love Normal Man by Valentino. It was a silly superhero parody comic. Did anyone else? No? Yeah, maybe. But I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, so the ding, 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 ding. I had every issue of this. Let's see. I wasn't buying any of these. I bought these though when I could get them. These digests. That's a tiny book right there. Tiny book. Some of these have just already dropped though. Come on now. It's got to be someone. Oh, there's Grimjack. Grimjack number 3. This is when Ostrander and Timothy Truman at their zenith. Grimjack was a great comic for a while there. I really liked it. I had a buddy of mine that bought it even when they changed it. So yeah, cool comic. This is when First was still doing some good stuff. Haven't bought a new comic since 2015. Just don't recognize the characters anymore and the art. Ugh. I'm exactly the same way, Ravenscroft. Exactly the same way, buddy. Can't get into any of it. Couldn't get into E-Man either. Let's see. You know, Zot was kind of a fun book. I went back and bought these a couple years after they came out. A weird but fun comic by Scott McCloud. I'd already dumped FF at that point. Oh man, I would like to get that UK book right there. A lot of this mainstream stuff at this point, I was getting some of it, but man. Where's that? Oh, okay. No. Hey, Amazing Heroes again. I always got that. Of course. There's American Flag for those of you who like that sort of thing. Star Slayer. Without Mike Grell, unfortunately. What's that one? Star Reach. Eclipse. Okay. I love this. This book here. These were Kirby reprints from Fourth World Kirby reprints right here. Yeah. It's all done on computers these days, I think, dearest. Or maybe it all seems like they use computers. But this was a reprint series, but until they got to issue 6 and it's new stuff. Oh yeah. A good night, Penny. Have a great night, my dear. Good to see you. Let's see. New Tales of Teen Titans. Where are we? Okay. I'm trying to find my place. Lost me down. Yeah, Elementals. Yeah. I was actually buying this series for a while. Mage. I bought like 15 issues, but man, did it take forever. Good comic. Thing Ben. The Thing is Big Ben. I've never seen that comic. That's the Marvel UK, of course. Man, I love this. This DC Comics presents annual with some great Gil Kane art. The whole issue is by Gil Kane, of course. Oh my God, that issue of Swamp Thing was one of my first 2 comic books ever. It says RG. Wow. Which one was that? Oh, yeah. Anyway, this is great Gil Kane stuff right here. Yes, sir. Had a bit of a glitch there. Sorry. Hate when that happens. Wow. Got to get this thing back up here now. Damn it. Arg. I think Matt Wagner is very talented. Couldn't follow all of his Grendel stuff, though. I never got into Grendel. I got to tell you, I never picked up Grendel. I liked Mage. Never touched Grendel. I mean, it's just me. But, yeah. Chris, are you guys, everybody hear me okay? Because I'm just a mic check since I tapped out by accident earlier. My Legion of Superheroes, the Baxter format comic, love it. Thanks, JT. Thank you, Keely. Appreciate you, buddies. Thank you. Yeah, this is the new high quality format direct sales Legion of Superheroes is starting. And there's some Alan Moore Swamp Thing goodness right there. What a run this was. I mean, his Swamp Thing. Got them all, still got them. The Ravenscroft says, thanks, RJ. Appreciate you, buddy. He says, when did you stop reading a lot of comics? You know, it's kind of complicated. I think it's weird for me because I think when I really made a big exodus, I didn't drop everything at the same time. So you can almost say if something new comes out that I'm really interested, I might still read. But for the most part, the Screw 52 pissed me off so much that was when I dropped I just dropped a lot of comics. I was dropping them before that. In the years building up to the Screw 52, it's not easy when you've been every week you possibly can of your life, unless something weird was going on, was spent in pursuit of new comics. And for a while there in the 2000s, the 2000-aughts, like 2000, anywhere from 5 to about 2009, I was buying a lot of titles. Not much in the way of Marvel. I was kind of sick of Marvel. I was buying some pretty decent DC books, amongst others. And then I started getting sick of the events. Blackest Night, Brightest Day, R.I.P., Final Crisis, blah, 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 blah. I started getting annoyed and said, look, could you just do comic books? Does everything have to be a freaking event? 52, Countdown, blah, blah, blah. Sinestro Core War, which I thought was an okay one, but still, good or not, it's like, man, can we stop it already? Can we please stop with the events? You're killing me with the events. So, kind of slowly but surely in the time leading up to the Screw 52, I've talked about this before, but I just bowed out. I said, all right, I was already dropped some of the books. And then when I saw the Screw 52, I said, no, I'm out of here. You can do this without me. I'm done. So I did not buy any Screw 52 stuff. And God, I love John Sable, by the way. John Sable was a great comic. So, yeah, I just, other than a few titles, I was still buying comics. At that time, I had to find something else to buy. I didn't like Marvel anymore. I was sick of Marvel doing their dumb crap. I dropped DC cold turkey, except for the non-in-universe stuff, like the non-Screw 52 stuff. For example, Vertigo, a little bit later, Vertigo took over Astro City. And, of course, I was still buying Astro City whenever it came out. Still buying stuff like Planetary, which was almost over, I think, or maybe over the point. There was some Dynamite titles. I was trying to find something to have a reason to go to the comic shop. I wanted to buy comics. I loved going to buy comics. So I would go buy that little nitpicky stuff here and there, but I didn't have really that many regulars. So I got rid of my folder. I didn't have a folder. I had no use for a folder anymore. Or a pull list. So, but I would still go for a while. For years, I kept going, and it started going less and less frequently. Like I go after a couple of weeks, I go a week or two without missing it. Without even thinking about going. But it took years for that to happen. So I would go and buy a little more. Just there would be a few titles here and there, until eventually it started to dry up. It took a few years. Then around, I don't know, 2015 or 16, I was to a point where I would buy Astro City would come out or something like that. But failing that, I would get I was getting some of the Dynamite licensed stuff. They had some Doc Savage comics here and there, and that kind of stuff. But for the most part, it was like, and it got to the point where I didn't really care anymore. And let me tell you something, it sucked. To have nothing to even care about at all. So I remember at some point they started doing these True Believer things, like $1 for an old comic, like $1 for a reprint of a classic issue of Marvel. The DC started doing this, called Dollar Comics, and they started to sell. They were old stuff. Cherry picked them all over the place. all over space and time. People were buying them for $1. Don't know. I just lost it. But I would go buy, like I would buy some of those reprint things. I'd buy facsimile. There was times when I would just go get facsimiles in those other reprint books because it was something to buy. But I didn't really, I don't know, I bought out of habit after that. Still, for a short time. And then I just got to the point where I didn't even care about the facsimiles. I used to get all those they're doing some crazy cool facsimiles now. They're still $4 or $5. I don't bother anymore. But now it's been about the past 2 or 3 years where I barely stepped foot in the comic shop. I have a couple times. Anything new I won't buy. I got my, Minimus sometimes brings me a comic that's new that he thinks I should have. I go, oh, whatever. But I never thought I would be at this place in my life. Because I'm not, when it comes to the old stuff, I'm fine. I still love it, and I still would like to get it. I can't really afford that much anymore, I have no room to be adding stuff. But I never thought there would be a time when I have no interest in going to the comic shop. Now, if I was out of town, I love going to comic shops out of towns and other cities and stuff. If I were out of town, I would stop at any comic shop that supports was different. I hope I get that back again. I mean, if I went to another city right now, I would want to go to the comic shop. If it were one of these, like a lot of the ones I go to, they just have a bunch of modern accoutrements, all the same old crap. I don't know. No enthusiasm for it anymore. And I would get it, but if I went to a comic shop that had, just like tons of stuff that looked cool, I go nuts in there. I could stay in there all day. Love them, Let's see. Keely says, you did own a comic shop. That's true. I did own a comic shop. And I ran other comic shops for many people over the years, too. Back in the 80s and 90s, though, Keely Chow. That was a long time ago, buddy. Yeah, they like to tease me for owning a comic shop. Or they think, because I'm, they think Gary and I say it too much or something. But that was when, at least, A.K. Roberts, good to see you. At least in my defense, Keely Chow, it was when owning a comic shop was cool to own. I mean, it was cool to own a comic shop back then. You rascal, you. All right. Who remembers this title? Anyone remember the 80s Khazar the Savage title? Anybody? K. Robert says, I think I finished with comics around 1992. Wow. Well, I can't say I blame you, buddy. Nobody? Thanks, Ravenscroft. That's weird. So, yeah, I hear you. Speaking of Gary, the real BBC with that. Yep, it is. So, this series went direct to sales. It was so weird when it did that. Well, this is a great comic. For a while, anyway. Went straight to direct sales. What the? Thought I hit a wrong button again. Wrong button again. Wrong button again. Wrong button again. Yeah. All right. So anyway, that was a cool comic. Zabu. Well, yeah, Machine Man. What the hell? So we have here. So much for that month. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, of course. Another standout. Crap. Where did I put you? Oh, there we go. Wowzer. There we go. Kirby's superpowers. Jesus. I'm going to mess it up. Right. Kazor needs to stay in the Savage Land, but that's just me. Yeah, well, I hear you there. Wax says, I kind of worked for a comic shop. I helped with their monthly newsletter in the early 90s before the internet and previous magazines wiped out the need for it. Excellent. Excellent. Yes, Barry Windsor Smith inking Herb Trimpe. How do you like that? Well, Adrian Gonzalez. What's this one? But Windsor Smith on Trimpe. That's amazing. And also that month, this is the anniversary of Star Trek III, The Search for Spock. That Howard Chaykin cover. Yeah, Davina, I know previews was a mess. They still have it, I think. Diamond doesn't have Monopoly anymore. Let's see. The comic shop I used to go to was a dark and depressing place, says Ravenscroft. Everybody just kept to themselves and there was no conversation. Really? Usually got my stuff and headed out as quick as possible. Oh, man. I'm sorry to hear that, Ravenscroft, because I had the opposite experience, I must say. In my life, all the greatest friends I've had that have lasted have been at comic shops or similar venue, but mainly comic shops. When I first started working in the comic shop, I was 17, I guess. And a lot of my friends were a little bit older. My friends that I made there were a little bit older than me. Two of them I'm still friends with to this day. So that's 1982. I turned 18 in August of 1982. Stephen Mack. And like I said, so I've known two of them for over, 42 years. That I'm still in constant contact with today. And actually, no, there are a couple other ones too, like maybe more than I've known Tex for almost that long. Who was here earlier, Tex. So, and these are real life friends that we hung out. And I made so many friends there. I helped the guy start that comic shop. It was called Southland Comics. It was 1982. And I ran it for him. It was, for a young man like that to have a job like that, I was running retail. It was retail, but, I was running it. And it was comics, and it was just so much fun. And that's all we did was sit around talking about. We loved other stuff, too. We loved Star Trek. We loved Doctor Who. We loved Star Wars, science fiction, and we talked about all that geek stuff. But it was a comic geek. I mean, it was such a fellowship. It was amazing. And we did everything together. We went to cons together, went to fan groups together. It was fantastic. And if you'd have been there with us, Ravenscroft, you'd have been part of our gang. And that's, man, again, I made friends. I've had some Normie friends. I made friends at other places that I've worked in here and there, of course. But other ones, like when it wasn't comic shops, it was fan club things and some cons. Doctor Who fan club, for example, and other cons. My kids wouldn't have been born if I didn't meet a woman in 1985 at a geek con in Mississippi. So, yeah, I mean, that's a shame that shop was like that, Ravenscroft, and so sorry to hear that, buddy. But you have friends now, bub. I'm only a month younger. Apparently only 1 month younger than you. Wow. Well, if you'd have been there with us, you'd have been one of our pals, bro. JJ Kirk, thanks, buddy, for being here. Thank you. And you have a good one, bro. Take care. What is this UK book here? Thing has been. I want this. Obviously, it's probably just Marvel 2-in-1 reprints, I guess. I want this, whatever it is. Wow. I want that, man. So let's see. Let's take a look at, let's go back 50 years. Now 50 years of this. All right, let's see. Bad Gamergate says started buying from a reseller the month Paul Smith took over duties on X-Men number 165. I like Paul Smith. He's still doing stuff online, but I liked his X-Men run. Because, yeah, it wasn't that good before that. Looks like a reprint from it. I don't know. It probably is just a reprint for 2-in-1. That's what I'm figuring it was, Gwag, because that's all it could be, but still, I like to sneak up and open it and find out for sure. Usually that's the case, though. Okay. Let's see. A lot of Archie stuff. More UK, man. A lot of Marvel UK here, boy. Jeez. This was given away with the Evil Knievel toys, but I had this a few times. Who didn't love it? God, you dig it. Yowza. Is there romance titles? Romance. What is it? Okay, so anyway, some old reprints there. Power Records Dracula. This is one of the Power Records I never got. Damn it! I wish I had this one. Damn me. Damn it. I wish I'd have had this one. I would love to get that. Okay. Wow. Psycho. I don't think so. A lot of really creepy ass mags, and don't mean creepy itself. Time for Love, Charlton Comics. Yeah, Gladiator. I'm buying that. I don't know about you. Ouch. Great John Romita cover. The hell? Okay. Oh, yeah. Deadly Hands of Kung Fu. Yeah, buddy. Hulk. Incredible Hulk 179. There you go. Oh, my goodness. That's my Hulk right there. My Hulk. I don't like him too smart. I don't like him going all over the place. Yep. 2 months before the Wolverine. You mean the Wolverine and Deadpool, or the Wolverine? Are they going to call him Wolverine and Deadpool? Let's see. Yeah, buddy, Justice League. Nick Cardy cover. Nice. Wow. That's true. Oh, yeah, it wasn't one. 2 months. I got you. I'm sorry. It was in 181. Technically, some say 180 at the very end of an ad, but yeah. But yes, I'm sorry, Bad Gamergate. I thought you were talking about that movie coming out. Because I'm stream brained big time right now. I'm an imbecile. So Kid Killed Outlaw reprints. A lot of reprints here. Marvel. This is when Marvel was flooding the stands. Stands. No, that was my bad. Not yours, Bad Gamergate. I'm senile, buddy. This is when Marvel were flooding the stands with reprints because there were, DC was turning the DC explosion. Hey, Bad Gamergate, that's not a bad thing to be. I too am way too much of a comic book geek, and I'm proud to know you. It's a wonderful, it's a fun thing to be. So, Atlas Seaboard was trying to get started. They were coming out of the box about a year or so before that, or whatever. Martin Goodman had gone to Atlas Seaboard, and DC was doing the DC explosion. So Marvel, in addition to their normal books, started flooding the freaking market with reprints because Marvel was pretty big, and they were able to bully those teams, bully those guys off the stands and off the racks and news racks and all that stuff. So Marvel, there's a reason why there were so many reprint books. And look at that. Kid Cold Outlaw reprint. Marvel Spectacular reprint. Marvel Superheroes reprint. Marvel Tales reprint. Vault of Evil reprint. Where Monsters Dwell reprint. A lot of Marvel and the reprint. Marvel reprint comics. There's Swamp Thing. There's Tomb of Dracula. Yeah, buddy. Oh, yeah. Deadly Hands of Kung Fu. At least it wasn't a reprint. Good. Yeah, but cool stuff. Man, look how flooded the racks were. How many different comics there were, though. Isn't that something? More UK. Marvel UK was hitting it big. UK. There's a. Oops. Falcon fights alone. That's what Cap was when I first saw him, anyway. Love it. John Romita Cap cover. Ravenscroft says, my God, I used to love Famous Monsters of Filmland. I did too. Lori Ackerman, my heart aches when I see that cover for a pure, for that crystal pure time of my life. I'm trying to. Oh, there it is. I think I bought this one. Dr. Fibes. Yeah, I bought Famous Monsters frequently. Famous Monsters of Filmland, it is. And you can imagine Ravenscroft. I got to meet Forrest Ackerman once he signed a poster for me. Very nice man. Yeah, Davina, I'm the same thing. I'm not a horror fan either, but those were interesting to look at. I looked at them when they were in stores. More UK. Yes, that's weird. Crypt of Shadows reprint. Frankenstein monster. Yeah, some giant size and some annuals and Marvel Triple Action, Marvel's Greatest Comics, reprints. Vampirella. Yeah, buddy, Vampirella. What about that? Yes, can't even show that today in some cases. So anyway, 50 years ago this week, folks, look at all these cool comics that came out. Kirby greatness. Oh man, Treasury greatness. Adore the Treasury editions. Oh yeah, we should look at that Vampirella Divina. You're right. We should. You're right. Just right. You're right. I should. Where? There we go. There you go. Enrique Torres. See, Vampirella, at that time, of course, being a young lad, I got most of my comics from the 7-Eleven, the corner, which didn't have magazine style size books. But whenever I would go to the drugstore with my mom or whatever, they had that big long rack with it had books and it had mags and comics on that. Yeah, it's actually not a reprint at that point, though. Yeah, Davina. Those artists were just, really good artists. But I got to flip through those. I get to look at them because they were on the rack. There's no way I was going to be able to talk my mom and let me buy one of those, of course. But we got to look at so our us kids got to at least look at Vampy in the store, the drugstore. Yes, sir. Love this Jonah Hex cover. I talk about this every now and then. Back in the early 70s, throughout the 80s, there were a bunch of artists, Filipino artists and stuff that came, and some other southern, other people from other parts of South America and things like that migrated here, and there was no immigration. They were able to come over here though and get jobs working for DC and Marvel because they could, put out a lot of work for not as much money. Hate to say it, Marvel and DC they did engage in such practices. So can't remember if Emperor being that racy inside the yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was different art, but she was pretty scantily clad, I can tell you that. But it was black and white, and it was more difficult to be explicit. It was yeah, I mean, it wasn't squeaky clean, but it was a different time. Avengers, War of the Worlds, man, those so many reprint books, amazing. Yeah. Shazam. Golly. She Ida. So that's pretty much. Oh, what's standing out? Oh, here you got. Oh man, Weird Adventure Comics with the Spectre in it. Jim Aparo Spectre, that's beautiful. Michael Fleischer and Jim Aparo's Spectre run on Weird Adventure, because it was just Adventure Comics, but was just, man, oh man, was it creepy. I don't know how they were getting away with it. I don't know how they got the comics code on this. And I don't know if any of you have ever read these. They were incredible. And they were messed up, let me tell you. In the best sort of way. And old Uncle Harlan Ellison, I'll never forget when I first, it was such a weird, I know I talk about this sometimes, and if you heard me talk about it, I apologize, but some haven't. I went from buying comics as a kid at the 7-Eleven and the Ecker Drugs and the K&B Drugs or what have you, to one day around 1980, 81, I got a call from a cousin of mine. And he says, there's this little paper called The Shopper, which was like a freebie paper that had like people trying to sell stuff. You know what I'm talking about? And he said, he said, look, there, so I saw something there, said comics, and it gave a phone number. That's it, comics. Called it. The guy started telling me about, he was a subscription service that you could order your new comics. And I'd had subscriptions to Marvel and DC before, but they're all crappy. They were all, this way you could order different from any company, whatever it is. And he said he would send me an order form, and he did. I'll make it relevant to the Spectre. Don't worry. So send me an order form, and I'm looking at this order form. It was pretty primitive, just like pages stamped together. I'd never seen anything like this. I didn't know what a subscription service was. What's that? I mean, I just knew that you could subscribe to Marvel. You could send Marvel a check. You have your mom check the boxes of the comics that you want, and you could get 5 or 6 Marvel comics. They would send you the issues. They always had this in the ads, and they're all mailed flat. Yeah, they're mailed flat. They don't arrive flat, mothers. They're all bent up. They were in a little thin envelope, not even an envelope, a wrap. They were wrapped up. So your comics came up really bent up. It pissed me off. I wasn't even a stickler for condition, but my comics, I didn't want my comics messed up. When I picked them off the rack, I wanted the best copy, even as a kid. So it was really, subscriptions were bullshit. This guy says, no, we put them in a box for you, and you can, we don't just have Marvel and DC. We have other companies. I'm like, really? Wow. So, and I'm looking at the order form. And I'm seeing things like Cerebus. What's that? Elf Quest. What's that? And a couple of others. For the most part, it was just Marvel and DC, but there was all the other stuff that was, big. There was a bunch of comics on there. Well, obviously, I couldn't afford all of it, but I ordered a pretty good bit of them. And at that point, it's like having a folder, but it was just you ordering them. I got my comics, I don't know how many weeks later. Wasn't that long. And I didn't know at the time how it worked, but it just filled my order and sent it to me. I get this box. Look, I must have been, I think 16 or 17 years old. So somewhere up in there, right? Dumbass kid that knows everything. Well, maybe everything. Ouch. So I can't believe it. It's a box of comics. It wasn't a lot of comics. One of the things I saw on the order form was something called The Comics Journal. And I was like, The Comics Journal? What is that? And it took for a while for my dumb 16-year-old, 7-year-old brain, whatever, to go, oh, that's wait a minute, a journal? Is it like a news magazine about comic books? No. Because when I talked to the guy on the phone, he was talking about opening up a comic shop in Baton Rouge one day. And I was like, what is a comic shop? He had to pound into my head the idea there's such a thing as a comic book shop or a comic book store. A place where they sell just comic books? Come on now. That'll never happen. No way, man. No way will there be a comic book store. Don't be ridiculous. There will never be a place that you can walk in just to buy comics. But before that, I ordered that Comics Journal. And it was a magazine-sized book. It was big. It was big and thick. It was thick and, but it wasn't, I still have it, by the way. It was so cool. It was a lot of reading in there for a kid. I was reading about, news that are comics that are coming out, reviews of comics that have already been out, even older ones, interviews with comic artists and, writers and such. Opinion pieces by the snooty editor, Gary Groth. And the snooty other editor, I don't believe it. So I read it. I can't believe it. I cannot believe this. They make a comic book about comic book business. But I'll take it. All right, Ravenscroft, have a good one tonight, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate you, man. So I get this and start reading about comics and stuff. And not to... Oh, it's great. Yeah, Davina, it was really a great beginning. So I see in the letters columns in this Comics Journal when I'm reading it, Son Lee, good to see you. Yes, Son Lee, he did indeed. You're right. Gary Groth. So I'm seeing this in the letters column, there's a big fallout about an interview with this guy named Harlan Ellison. The name I did know, but I wasn't super familiar with him. because of his contact to Star Trek, Well, they're all pissed off at him, and there's a big because he gave a real long, scathing interview. And one of the many things he got in trouble for that became legend in comic book history, he was talking about Michael Fleischer, the writer Michael Fleischer on Adventure Comics, aka Weird Adventure Comics, in his Spectre run with Jim Aparo. And Ellison was praising him because the writing's so crazy. And Ellison, you know how bombastic. If anyone who knows Ellison, he's bombastic, and the way he talks and stuff. So he said he was calling Fleischer. He says, "Fleischer's crazy, man. He's that kind." And again, he was speaking because Ellison was a big comic book fan who has written some comics. He was saying how great he loved the Spectre book. He said it was amazing. It's nuts. This guy's crazy. He says crazy as a bed bug. He called him an insane bug fuck. He said he was really, he was complimenting him with backhanded comments, saying the guy's nuts in a good way. The comics, and if you read those, they are crazy, man. Those comics are crazy. Great stuff, the Fleischer Aparo Spectre. So Michael Fleischer didn't appreciate it. Not, sir. No, sir. Not at all did he appreciate it. So much so that eventually he brought a lawsuit against the Comics Journal and Fantagraphics, and against Harlan Ellison, and against Gary Groth, and I think Kim Thompson, if I remember right. That trial dragged out for years and years and years. And obviously the Comics Journal eventually had to try to raise funds for legal fees. Jim Shooter was brought in because Jim Shooter hated the Comics Journal because they were very, very critical of Marvel and DC. They hated mainstream comics and were very elitist. Yes, imagine that. A publication devoted to comic book news and stuff, which was very elitist, which they were. So they started, when they went into the trial, they were just going to talk to Shooter once, like in front of the court or whatever. But I remember they had a whole issue, like a big cover of the Jim Shooter, drawn by Don Simpson. Jim Shooter, like testifying before the court. So it was a big, messy court case that went on for, I don't know, man, 6, 8, 9 years. It was crazy. All because Harlan Ellison, and in that interview, he insulted a lot of people. I remember I didn't have the issue. I just had the issues with the backlash and the letters page. It went on for like 2 or 3 issues of that. It took me to like into the 90s to find that issue. I was at a comic shop in Dallas, and I found it in the back issue section, and in the back issue magazine section for a few bucks. And like, oh man, it's the Ellison issue of Comics Journal. I still have all my old Comics Journals from the 80s and 90s, and I have tons of them. I never missed it. That and Amazing Heroes also put up on Fantagraphics. I did a few years ago here on YouTube. I did a show about comics fanzines and news and journalism, comics journalism, and all the great old mags about comics, which they don't make. Tomorrow's does great magazines about comics history now, but remember, I covered that pretty well. I thought. I hope I did. So I enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. Anyway, so sorry about that, folks. It just made me think of this, and I thought, what the hell? Ellison setting the tone for Straczynski later. Yeah, he did. Well, he was instrumental on Babylon 5, wasn't he? Or he was a consultant anyway. Look at FF 150. Gil Kane cover. Nice. I always love this cover. Yeah. I think this is a freaking reprint, though. I remember buying this one. And anyway. Wow, we just reviewed this one tonight. Holy shit. Oh my, what a coinky dink on J-Man's channel. Tonight, we just reviewed this comic. Bad Gamergate, you mean on that FF? That was a Gil Kane cover. Oh, I love Gil Kane. Come on, Frank Robbins was awful. Well, I'm not a Frank Robbins fan. I don't know if you like him or not, but yeah. But we reviewed this one tonight for the on our Legion reviews. It's crazy. I didn't realize this was. Let me look at this sucker here. Holy shit. June 25th. So we're 50-year-old comic. That's crazy. I'll have to tell J-Man about that. That's a great one. Oh, the Human Torch one? Oh, I'm sorry. Now, the Human Torch one, I think that's a Buckler cover, probably. Let's see. Ramita. I don't think Ramita inked that one, though. They're not giving us an inker, but Ramita, though, yeah. I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about that FF cover. My bad. So it's Ramita, yeah. They didn't let Frank Robbins do covers much. On Invaders, sometimes. Usually, even on Invaders, they wouldn't let him do it. For obvious reasons, right? But yeah, it's a cool cover. The interior is a reprint from Strange Tales. Well, I'll be damned. I got to tell buddy J-Man about that. Breaking crazy. Well, so much for that. Well, I've been here for a couple hours for you all, and I've just really been enjoying hanging out with you. If any of you have any questions or any statements to make before we get out of here, please do. No pressure. If you don't know, big deal. And we'll, we'll start closing things up. But I love hanging with you. And anybody who has anything you'd like me to comment on or answer, I'll throw that out there now. If not, no biggie. Good to see you, Steven. Thank you. Hey, thanks, 70s. Appreciate that, buddy. I don't know if you do much in the way of comic books, but you have to come talk comics. Well, thank you, Davina. That's very kind of you. Appreciate you saying that. You don't have to say that. Make me blush. But I appreciate it. You're too kind. But I'll be here Wednesday night. It'll be Open Geek, so it'll be all. All right, K. Roberts. Thanks, Keely. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Good to see you all. I'll start doing well, thanks, RJ. I'm gonna start doing some let's see. Well, thank you, 70s, and sometimes on a Wednesday night when you have time, we come do the Open Geek thing. We'll talk about Open Geekness. Hey, Ezra, what's up, man? Shalom, sir. Well, even though this is a comic show tonight, I'll cheat a little bit for you about Doctor Who. So, the latest Doctor Who is a steaming pile of filthy trash. I know you're shocked. It was Dot and Bubble was a horrific embarrassment. I'm beginning to think that the goal is to try to be worse than Chibi and Jodie. I don't know if you saw it. The Ezra, did you see it? Sheesh. I mean, sheesh, indeed. It's just wow. I'm gonna rant about it Wednesday night, even though that's an open show, since that's tonight's comics. But I'll just tell you this: I think it's unbelievably bad. I might rant about the Acolyte and Doctor Who on Wednesday night. Yes, everyone's talking about how bad the Acolyte is, and so much so they want to see it. Yes and no, Clubby. So you did see it, but you didn't? I'm confused, Ezra. Shalom, by the way, again. I don't so you did and you didn't watch it. Or you watched part of it? Or whatever do you mean, Ezra? I shall await your reply. In the meantime, I'll just tell you it's absolute dog crap. It's it defies the comprehension. Well, Matthew Pounder. What's up, Matthew? Good to see you. I was just about to run out of here. I just realized that my UK friends are just starting to wake up, getting up early. Should hang out for you guys, I guess, a little bit. By the way, if you're still there, Brian, 70s buddy, so sorry about you, both you and Mark D's teams. I think what did you guys go down, or am I missing something? You're right. I don't get to see it, but I know Mark's team went down. So his Rangers. I'm sorry to hear about that. Oh yeah, loss. I'm sorry. Both of your teams got. Well, I'm so sorry about that, brother. It happens, man. Well, I'm familiar with losing like that too. We all are. I mean, if you're a sports fan of any kind, you're used to it, So. But yeah, some more than others, obviously. Well, that's sorry, dude. Shit happens, man. So, will you watch? You'll keep watching anyway. Gilchow says, "May the Jets never hoist Lord Stanley Cup." What? R.I.P. Thrashers. Hey, Stark of Iron, good to see you there. From last break. Hey, may the Jets. May the Jets never hoist Lord Stanley Cup. R.I.P. Thrasher, says Keeley. Okay. I watched some of the final. Gotcha. When I used to be hardcore NFL for about 50 years until the past couple of years, even when my teams were trash, I watched everything, and I would watch all of it, and I'd watch the playoffs and all that stuff. Oh, at work, I see. Oh, I got you from break. Work your break. I got you there, Stark. Well, it's good to see you there, buddy. I hope you're doing well. I hope everything's going well at your great channel. If you could, I'm see if I can get put the link in my descriptions, or get your link, so I can put that out there so people can go and subscribe to you. I will find it, and then I will. And I don't know how. I'm not sure what the name of the channel is, dude, but Well, if I can, I don't have a link to. I don't know exactly how to find it. Is it Stark of Iron? Oh, forgot the K. I got it. I got it. All right, everybody, please go to this link. And if you've not subbed yet, please go check out Tony Stark's channel and subscribe. Mark D with the C was a man, but he became, oh, there he is right there.
In a past life, I guess. Yeah. Hello, everyone. I've been lurking for a long time. I
Oh, okay.
do a t-shirt design for us.
What's that?
Group. I was designing a t-shirt. So we've got
Oh.
a scout troop is going away, for campings or summer camp. So usually do, a t-shirt with logo and name. And so I was doing something in Photoshop. And of course I always go overboard. So it took me about an hour, 2 hours longer than I thought it would.
But
I was enjoying the show. Can't wait to hear what you think about the great Acolyte show on Wednesday when it's Wild Card and
Wild Card
Doctor Who.
Dark of Iron, Tony. That's very cool of you, man. But you don't have to work. Don't go to no trouble for me, buddy. But I appreciate the sentiment and thank you so much, man. But don't go any trouble for me. But on the other hand, if you got one, I can run. I don't have ads, but I don't have ads for that. But they don't let me dictate my ads, put it like that. But I'll be glad. Like I said, I'll keep running that for you. Everyone, please go and subscribe to Stark of Iron's channel there. But yeah, you don't have to go to any trouble like that. But I thank you so much. Very kind of you to say that. Ezra says, I watched Doctor Who by a review of Seske. It looked horrible, and the main character was a horrible human being. Yes. I think RTD is deliberately destroying Doctor Who. Yep, and he didn't have far to go, but I think he just wants to be even worse than Chibi. It's disgusting. It's trash, and it's beyond belief how bad it is at this point. And I think that last episode, yeah. So yeah, you don't need to watch that crap. Just watch who you've been watching. They tell you everything you need to know. And if you want to confirm it with me, did this happen or that happen, I'll be glad to answer it for you. So, I'll make a 30-second vid of your shows and send me, and I'll slot. Oh, that's very nice of you, man. I wouldn't know how to make one of those if I had a gun pointed at me. I'm so bad, Tony Stark of Iron. I'm so horrible with tech.
He's
and
old.
Mark knows this. I'm old and decrepit. I couldn't make a video like that if I had a nuke pointed at me.
But Raquel could do it for you if you asked her. But
I don't
you would
want
never
to
do that because you don't want to you don't want to ever ask anyone to do anything for you. Don't start that. Yeah, she'll
hear that and do it. Yeah,
I know she will, but she would in a second. I could do it for you too. But
yeah. No, it's okay. I don't want anyone having to feel like they need to ad for me like that. Just hey, it's just cool enough that you come and hang out and say hello when you can, Stark of Iron, buddy. But I appreciate that.
What about if stone tablets? If you did it in stone tablets with a chisel, you could probably figure that out.
Yeah. Just cool to have you hanging. That's all that matters. Yeah, there you go.
I'll make one with Ben Grimm footage. He'll do it. Yeah, just put your. Yeah, he will.
It is not a
great
problem.
Guy. He'll do it. Yeah.
But I do appreciate that. So, yeah. Don't watch Doctor Who unless you just feel like you have to review it. I feel like I have to at least talk about it a little bit. I'll sit through any old filth. I gotta be honest with you though. This new episode, this latest episode, I think changed my life. It changed me. Now, I can't wait for the next one. Because there's 3 more to go.
Don't blink.
And I want to see if they can be worse than they've been. I recently wrote another parody song of Doctor Who, says Stark. Oh, cool. I didn't know you were writing those. So I want to see. I'm actually fascinated by the show now. I got to be honest with you. Before I was just pissed off and it sucks. And now it's fascinating to me that you could make something that moronic, because that scene, I went back and watched, not watched it, but I saw someone tearing it apart on a review, and I wanted to see if they would see something I didn't, and I pretty much didn't see anything new in the review that I didn't catch, but it was interesting watching the scenes again at the end, and I'm like, except what this reviewer I was watching made the girl look even worse. She
Girl
was
was horrible in
absolutely
that episode.
despicable, horrible. I'm not talking about her acting or anything. I'm just talking about her character,
Yeah,
who was despicable. And the stuff, Shooty and the crybaby and stuff at the end. I said I was talking to J-Man about that today as well. All right, Stark of Iron, be good, buddy, Tony. So I know this is comic show. We're about to get out here anyway, but
I do have new comics though. If you want to see something really good.
Well, I started saying goodbye to everybody, but if you're still here, everyone, if you want to see Mark's crappy comics, I wasn't prepared. Remember, but we can do it anyway. I guess.
Well, I know we can wait till next Monday.
No, we can do it. I guess we didn't lose anybody.
Yeah, well, sorry.
If anybody's still here,
I had to finish that project. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess they're still here then.
So yeah, like 22 people are still here. Yeah.
More than that. Well, twitch. So yeah, if you want to show us your new wonderful comics,
for sure. Yeah, here, let me make sure I got my right camera.
Everyone wants to make fun of you.
I mean, everyone's just looking forward to that. So let me. San Lee would like to see it. Yep.
All right.
So let me change my mic over here to my headset mic.
Yeah, I watched.
Hopefully, you can still hear me.
I watched Disparu today, Matthew. He's right. I agree with everything he said.
He's a very good streamer. Yeah, he's excellent. Yeah. Always like his takes. He's very cogent.
He's very good with Doctor Who.
And he's smart and all that. Yep. Cogent.
He is. That too.
So here you go.
All right. That looks, it looks all right.
John Romita.
Again, John Romita Jr. John Romita Jr. Don't ever just say John Romita.
Yeah, I know.
Unless it's John Romita Sr. If it's senior, if you say John Romita and you don't put anything on the end of it, it's good senior.
Yep.
And this.
I mean, it depends if you like that style or not. I'm not.
No, it's actually okay for junior. Junior.
I just don't like the style doesn't float my.
All right, Chris Persia. Chris Persia, take care, buddy. Thank you.
Chris is getting out of just in time. He doesn't want to see the bad comics, I guess. Yeah. Good night, Chris. Yep. So this is Nightwing, number 114. So I'll zoom in. I mean, I've seen a lot worse, so I'm gonna give that one a passing grade. Now, mind you, this is a lowered bar that I'm not talking,
Yeah, it's not a bad cover. It's just not very.
It's not bad. Yeah.
Snick.
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
Snick cover, I guess.
And if I zoom in on Wolverine there. Excuse me.
Ooh, Matthew, so much for genetics for me to Junior West Cole. Wow. That's awful.
This is all right. But actually, I like Junior's stuff when he was copying his dad's style. He was.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I liked his art more, but he does his own thing now. So God bless him.
Yeah, it's good enough.
This is the Ultimate Spider-Man.
Oh boy.
Not liking it, but this book is selling like crazy.
J-Man told me this was awful.
J-Man didn't like something? He likes Highlander too.
No, he doesn't. He's lying. He doesn't like it because he hasn't seen it.
RJ should like this one. Yeah, he hasn't seen it. That's true. RJ should like this one.
There you go.
Mechagodzilla.
RJ
50th anniversary special.
It's one of those feet on Wolverine.
I love Mechagodzilla. He's my guy.
Oliver Belamonte, what's up, buddy? Oliver, I've not seen that trailer yet. I forgot to watch it. But I'm not a big. I don't care about Venom. Venom trailer.
Venom. Yeah. There's a new Venom movie out. Another one.
Venom: The Last Dance trailer just came out.
I haven't even watched the last one. If you had told me there'd be a movie about Venom, and I wouldn't even have watched it. My McFarlane buying art.
I didn't watch either one of them.
Person itself would have been like, "What? What you talking about, Will?"
Godzilla. versus Mechagodzilla. That's pretty cool.
this is
Detective
the same.
Vomits.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, I try to be nice. If you do like that stuff, just this whole run of covers, just horrible covers. I mean, they're all the same, dark and depressing.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Dribble.
I guess artsy fartsy, maybe people like it, but X-Men 97 #3. Now that evokes an old school cover. I don't think the art is great, but I like the layout and the way the colors pop. You know, what you gonna buy on a shelf? This or this?
Yeah.
But the art's not great. That's supposed to be, following the comic. This is poor Shimi who got left
Right.
behind by the meme Jedi Knights who didn't rescue her from captivity, and they just left her on the planet. And maybe if they'd saved her, maybe Anakin, would have not turned out so bad. I mean, all they had to do was bring some money back. I mean, wasn't the princess pretty powerful and rich there?
That was pretty silly.
Just leave her in
He
captivity.
left her there.
Yeah, and not even come back. Like, in 5. We're gonna come back to get your mom. We've got the money. I just leave her. But I like these action figure covers. But did they ever do a Shimi Skywalker action figure? I
Shmi.
don't know.
I think it's Shmi.
Shmi?
Shmi.
Oh, Shimi. But what do I know? I'd say
Well, it says
Dr. Seuss feed.
SHMI. Shmi, it sounds like, but what do I know?
Yeah.
That's an okay Alex Ross cover. I mean, sure made him some bucks on it.
Not bad.
What are they even paying him these days? They can't afford much.
And we got some Conan.
Conehead, the barbiturate.
Barbiturate. That's an okay cover. I'm not blown away by this cover, I have to say, but the book is really good.
Conan
So
the
that's
bar.
number 11.
They're at a bar called Conan.
Yeah. So not too many comics this week. I like that one. Ross is good. This one I think would attract kids the most if kids were actually buying comics these days, which I don't think they are, but that probably would. The Godzilla cover is pretty cool. Could use a little bit more colors, but that's going to be fun to read. This I'm not liking.
What are people really excited about that? That other people said.
Yeah, it's selling out like crazy. This is probably. I don't like Wolvie's face there. The
feet are terrible.
Yeah, the feet are. But at least it's trying something. This is probably the best action on all these covers. Was the junior cover.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, nothing. That Dr. Doom book that was out. Guess how much this is selling for right now? $30.
$30, but why?
I don't know.
It's a one shot or no?
Anyone send me $30, I'll send you mine. Yeah. No, it's a new. I guess it's a limited series. But $30 went up to $30. What are you, crazy? Like 0 cents. It's not a bad cover. I haven't read it yet.
Is it just called Doom or Dr. Doom? You got
Doom.
the top cut off.
Just Doom. Oh, sorry. Yep.
That's all right.
It's just Doom. Yep.
Doom.
Just Doom. Yep.
Leafield feet. Yeah, pretty much, Matthew.
Yeah.
Wow.
At least they made fun of that in the new Wolverine movie. So Deadpool and Wolverine, excuse me. There was a new Heineken trailer out too today. They had a joke trailer trying to sell Heineken with the movie.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you
So
go.
those are the covers you can make fun of for the week. So hope everyone enjoyed that. At my
Not that bad.
expense. Yeah.
New comics are drivel.
Yeah.
I mean, the prices are so bad. Man, that's an expensive batch right there.
Yeah, and RJ, yeah, no new comic is worth $30. Like,
no,
I agree. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
that's what I said. If anyone wants to give me $30, you can have my copy.
Some of the crowdfunded books are priced way more than that, but they're like 90, something pages at least.
Yeah, they're starting out like that.
Yeah,
I mean, very, very rarely. Like, I'm thinking, the whole cover was Wolverine's claws, with the in the background, the McFarlane cover, like that one shot up pretty. Once in a while you have a book that'll shoot up really quickly. Oh,
Yeah.
Ezra's. I was away from the chat. I can't see the chat when I'm on my desk. But what was the name of the Mecha Godzilla comic? Let me look at it.
Oh. Godzilla, Mechagodzilla 50th anniversary special.
Yeah, so I think the tag is Godzilla, though. You know the way when you go to buy a comic, if you're looking it up. So I think
Well.
the Godzilla, it's always
So
like, what?
that means Mechagodzilla started in 74 as a character, but of course Godzilla was 54. Godzilla's
Yeah,
70
I guess,
years.
that makes sense.
Godzilla's 70 years old this year. So Oliver says, "Oh boy, Hawkeye season 2 is said to be
Oh,
now
no.
in the works. The next possible foe for Clint and Kate is said to be Clint's eldest but villainous brother, Barney, aka Trick Shot. Well, I'm sure Clint will be in it for like 2 episodes.
Is he going to get out of the Christmas tree yet?
I doubt it. So yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath on that one, buddy.
Oh, are you staying up to watch The Acolyte tonight?
It's not tonight, is it?
It's not tonight, or is it tomorrow?
Or is it
I
tonight?
thought it was June 4th.
Oh, I
have a
think
watch
it is.
party?
Yeah. I think it is.
Can't
Why, you
wait
wanna-
to see that. It's
Why,
going to be
you want
good.
to do a watch party? I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Yeah.
If it's on. Let me see when it's
Let's see
going to
if
air.
on. Is it really
See when
on?
it's going on. You
I want to
checking?
see Anakin Skywalker blow up the Death Star.
That'd be great. Are you checking or what?
I am checking. Yep, I'm just trying to.
Well, put it to you like this.
my
I don't
window.
know how many episodes are dropping tonight.
Was it 2? I heard.
Maybe. And they said by the third one, everyone's going to be having Last Jedi fits.
And this is a
That's the
prequel.
vibe. This is 100 years before, but I'm talking about equivalent to that. In other words,
June 4th.
Star Wars fans.
June 4th.
Well, today's the 3rd. So, and it's almost the 4th.
Let's see. What's in my time zone? Let's see.
It'd be 3 o'clock in the morning for you, probably, and 2 o'clock in the morning for me.
6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern on Disney Plus.
Oh, it's
so
today?
I have to-
Oh, it's tomorrow night.
Well, I mean, it's already June 4th, but they're doing it 9 p.m. Eastern instead of making people wait, which is actually smarter. They're not doing the 3 p.m., 3 a.m., 12 a.m. Pacific time zone start, which they've typically done. It's smarter. Yeah, so they're doing it 6 p.m. California, 9
So
p.m.
8 o'clock my time.
So, but we got Toxic
That's when it's
Tuesday tomorrow night.
dropping.
I hope we get people watching Toxic Tuesday and not.
I'll be able to
The
watch because I
Acolyte.
ain't got nothing going on. I'll be up to get done with
No, but the Acolyte's on against Toxic Tuesday.
Well, I know that, but I don't have anything to do tomorrow night. You
Yeah.
do, so I'll watch it for you if you want. God, I don't want to. You want to do a watch party later?
Well, we might. Yeah, we could do that later. Yeah.
After Toxic Tuesday, then?
Well, that's gonna be kind of late, though. Yeah, that'll be pretty late for me.
No.
We'll think. I'll see how it's
could have-
going. We'll think about it.
Get Nick to do a special Toxic Tuesday and change from what y'all are doing to change it to everybody watching the Stupelite. And I doubt that. I'm kidding, of course.
Yeah. That'll be fun. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. All right. Well, no, but I like them doing that start time. Not that I don't have high hopes for the series, but yeah, it's that makes sense to do it that way instead of waiting to. I hated that on the East Coast. You have to wait till 3 a.m. to see the show. Yeah.
Yeah. It's an interesting time to drop that. Well, they're going to piss a lot of people off, from what I understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's at again, that's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock your time, right?
Yeah. 9 o'clock my time.
So 8 o'clock my time.
And Toxic Tuesday is 9:30 my time. Yep. How
It'll drop
dare
up-
they? How
Yeah.
dare they schedule that premiere against Toxic Tuesday?
Yeah.
I'm outraged.
Outrageousness.
Oh, we got a question here from Oliver.
Oliver?
If I were back in my college years, which intelligent Marvel hero would you prefer to be your professor? Smart Hulk, Reed Richards, or Tony Stark? You know, as a Fantastic Four fan, I got to say I would instantly go with Reed, but I don't know if Reed would deal with students so well. I think he would. I don't know. And Tony Stark, you know, as long as he's past all his problems, his troubles. I mean,
Yeah.
Smart Hulk. God, you don't want to get Smart Hulk angry just in
No,
case,
you don't want him.
So I would probably go with
I'd
Tony
go
Stark.
Reed.
Plus, no, but Tony Stark would get in college. He'd be hooking you up with the ladies, probably, right? In class,
Yeah, he would be
could
having
you
fun.
imagine? Of course, he would attract all the ladies. I mean, the geek in the back row with the glasses on. How does he do
Yeah.
it?
Hey, you're not an Amanda Bear.
I think Tony
said-
Stark would be the most fun.
Should have watched the new Godzilla -1 and new X-Men 97. I really loved Godzilla -1. I've seen it twice. I think it's brilliant, and I enjoyed X-Men 97 a good bit. I was not like a moderate fan of the original, not the biggest fan of it, but I liked it okay. And if you like the original, I think it's very, very faithful to it, and they do a decent job catching the spirit of the original cartoon. I think fans of the show will be generally pleased with what they did with it. That's just my take on it, Narat. So, but yeah, I loved Godzilla -1.
Can you watch the black and white one now that it's dropped on Netflix? Because I
Not
saw the
yet.
black and
That's
white
probably
version
good.
in movie theaters, and
That's
that was
probably going to be on like the Blu-ray or the 4K or something.
it was amazing. I have to say, no, I didn't see the color version first.
I've only seen the color.
I saw the black and white, and the black and white blew me away. And it's one of the better stories too. You know, with the human characters, so they have a legitimately good story. It's more of the human story, but the human story is so well intertwined with Godzilla and World War II that it really should have won an Academy Award. And the black and white version was gorgeous, so I went to see that in the movie theater. I didn't see I've seen I've started watching the color version on Netflix just to compare it, but the black and white version just, I don't know, just takes you back to that era too when you watch the first Godzilla in black and white. So
yeah,
and X-Men 97
Well,
I enjoyed too. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed that.
He says, was it? Thank you. I will watch them. They're both probably better than Star Trek Lower Decks. I thought you liked Lower Decks, and you're right about Samantha Bear. But anyway, I think I haven't seen Lower Decks, but I think there probably are. But anyway, you never know. Again, if you like Godzilla, I think you like. Even if you don't like Godzilla, my mom and dad have never watched a Godzilla movie ever. They don't know anything about Godzilla. To the point when we were sitting there and we turn on Netflix on there because we go there on Sundays all the time. I told you about that, I think. We go there on Sundays all the time, my son and I, and they asked him to fix oh, but they're better. I hear you there, right? To put the codes so they can watch it on their big TV anyway. So he did, and there it was. Because just the other day they very unceremoniously dropped Godzilla -1 to Netflix the other day. So that's the first thing that pops up.
Right?
It's the first thing that pops up, right? And they don't even know what that is. It's I was telling them it was good stuff. I just assumed. I thought I was talking to them like even a basic normie knows who freaking Godzilla is. They know so little. They've heard the name. They probably. I mean, couldn't pick them out of a lineup of monsters. They kept mentioning King Kong like they like King Kong movies. And I'm like, yeah, but even though they don't know that he's met King Kong either. They don't understand any of that. All they watch is, they watch a lot of stuff I don't watch. But it's all, some of it's very popular TV shows and they love dramas and they'll watch, adventure stuff like that, but they won't watch too much. It's not very little genre stuff, right? But even if you don't like, you think even Joe Blow just knows who Godzilla is, for God's sake. But no.
Yeah, most people would know Godzilla.
He's only around for 70 years, but they barely know. They know it's a monster. I think that's about all. So I was telling them, so I thought I was going to have to like hard sell
Do they
it. I
know
said, "Oh,
King
no."
Kong?
Yeah, they do because they love those movies. They kept thinking I was talking about King Kong. I said, no, it's Godzilla. So, and they're 85 years old and 83 years old. What can I tell you? So they
Yeah,
said, oh, we'll watch it. And so they were open to it. I would have thought they would have said, we're not. I said, no, monster movie. But no, we're fine. So we watched it and we watched, and by the way, this has the dub.
Oh yeah. So okay, I
Well,
got
you
you.
don't have, it
No,
does
no
have it has
subtitles.
the other though. It comes with you have to turn the dub on if you want to. And I was like, because when they saw it with subtitles, they're like, what is this? You got to read, And I don't think they would have been all that receptive to it. So I just had Jonathan put the dub on there. And I was curious to see how because usually I can't stand dubs.
I can't
if
stand
something,
dubs either. Yeah.
They did a good job dubbing this. They did the actors, I have to say, now I prefer it the other way. Don't get me wrong. I have to say, I have to give them, because I usually don't like that. The actors did a fine job, considering. Better than any Godzilla movie I've ever seen. But if I have my way, I'm going to watch the subtitle.
Yeah.
Which I did at the theater. So, but I was also a little curious. So we watched the dub and it was fine. We were both counting. I said, wow, it's actually not too bad. So it was still great and everything. And they watched it, they watched the whole thing. And we all ended up going to the table and having coffee, but it was still running. And they watched a little bit of it. And then we came back and watched it was set in front of it. So there was a little distraction in the middle, but they were liking it. And then they seemed to think it was pretty good. So
That's amazing.
Yeah. And then,
well, it was a universally good movie, I have to say, though, too. I mean, it's just, even if, say the movie was about an earthquake or a tornado or, it doesn't matter that, I mean, of course, the Godzilla adds that amazing cool factor. But it could be, the following those, the people, in Japan going through, what they go through and the trials and tribulations that, you've got the war as a background there too. So that's why the movie, the movie worked on all levels. Sometimes just the kaiju fights are the only thing you care about. And like, get rid of the humans now. I want to see these humans. I don't care about Millie Bobby Brown,
No.
Go away now.
This one's about human. This is a human movie.
Yeah.
And yet they were laughing at me because my son and we were getting excited about this movie has the Godzilla theme in it and the sound. He actually said in the American movies, they can't have that and they can't have him even sound like Godzilla. But he sure as hell does in this.
Oh yeah.
And got they get that do
Oh,
that
I
very
love
well.
that.
And then they've got the bum 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 bum
Yeah.
bum bum, and then later it builds up slowly to bum 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 bum. Great Godzilla music. We have different soundtracks that have it, of course, and it's perfect.
Yeah.
So
no, you want to cheer when you hear that music, right? It just makes you want to jump out of the seat, right? It's Godzilla time,
yeah. Excellent movie. So.
Yeah,
Anyway.
highly recommend it.
Yeah. So we should mosey on out of here.
I guess we could mosey on along and
Unless you got something else going on.
No, just day at work, busy day. So I got Eagle dinner tomorrow night. Oh, and I'm getting an award too, and I should not supposed to toot my own horn, but
nice.
I'm getting an award for volunteering, so which is
excellent.
Nice. Yep.
Excellent. Show notes, my friends. You got anything? Any show notes?
Just Toxic Tuesday tomorrow night. Come over. Don't watch The Acolyte. Watch Toxic Tuesday with Nick Wes. We're doing the Punisher Warzone, the third Punisher movie.
Yes, indeed. The great
looking
Nicholas.
forward to that. Yeah, on Nick Wes' channel. I'm sure everyone here is sub to Nick, so looking forward to that.
I will be on with him tomorrow night, Tuesdays and Thursday nights on the great Tom Connors Midnight Edge After Dark channel, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, and on Wednesday nights when he has it, the great Stone Loki's channel for the comic book roundtable, and then back here, right here, Clobby's channel Wild Card Wednesday night, same Clubby time, same Clubby channel, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then Thursday nights, the great, wonderful number one, Commander Iron Briggs joins me, as well as the great Chief Engineer, Mark D with a C, as we have the clubhouse in session reviewing a Blake 7 episode, a Kolchak the Night Stalker episode, and a Star Trek Unlimited comic book run, and who knows what else. Friday, over on the great J-Man's channel, J-Man and Sean and myself, who had a wonderful time tonight reviewing Legion, we review the entire Jack Kirby King of Comics legendary run on the world's greatest comic magazine. Fantastic Four 1 through 102, annuals 1 through 6, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Friday night on Fantastic Fridays. And when I'm able to, which is most of the time, after that, 8:30 Central Standard Time, I'm off over to the great 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser's channel, our good buddy who also has to talk on Tuesdays, with the Friday Night Comic Shop boys talking what else? Comics. It's always a lot of fun there. And we're back to the grind. Hopefully number one is back with us. That much of
a grind, though, right? Yep.
It's a grind. It's a grind, trust me. Back to the grind Saturday night, Star Trek. Same Trek time, same Clubby channel, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Number one is back with us. It was off this past week. We were having, 4 more scintillating episodes of Star Trek Vergleiter. That's right. So that's going to be great fun. And incidentally, I want to thank everyone who hung out with me this past Saturday night, counting down the Trek episodes. What a lot of fun. Who'd have thunk it? Got a lot more reviews on that one. A lot of people hung out. I was surprised by the great turnout, and I appreciate it for everyone. And the views, people really like. Turns out they like it when you talk about a real Star Trek. And who knew? And just we had a great fun time last night on Mark D with the channel, Mark D with the C's channel, the Green Chief Engineer. Every Sunday night, end your weekend geek, Sunday Night Geekery, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And next Monday night it'll be we'll be having our Earth B back. It's back. That's the B Monday of the month. So the great J-Man will join me for our Bob Haney visit. Shout outs to our great wrenches, Eric K. the Bronze Wrencher, Chris Persia, Vindicator Wrencher of the Great White North, D. Bud Martin, the Wrench of Iron, Lord Thoth, Avon lives long, live the Legion, J-Man, Maximum Redstone, Fanty Outside, Larry, Quagnar, J.T. Kirk, Matty Steady, Kal-El. And I want to thank all of you, my dear friends, for being here with me tonight. Thank you. Bad Gamergate, appreciate you so much. RJ Godzilla, you rock. Ezra Goldstein, shalom. Wag, thank you, buddy. Oliver Bellamonte, thank you. Donata Naxamanda Bear, Joe Dog, Matthew Pounder, thank you, buddy. Stephen Mack, all of you who are with us tonight, I do appreciate it. RJ Godzilla, thank you so much. Keely Chow, roll that tide, buddy. Let's see who else was here.
Right, 70s, no condolences to 70s. Yeah, both of us are in mourning.
I talked to him. Was he here now?
I heard you. I heard that. Yeah, we just said good night all.
Oh, 70s. Yeah. That's 70s. Thanks, buddy, for being here, brother. Appreciate you, man.
I did challenge him to Stiga tabletop ice hockey, so I'm pretty good at that too.
Wow. Nice.
Well, that's the only hockey I'm going to be watching. Well, I guess I'll watch some of it, but yeah.
I hear you. I understand. Sorry about that. Stark of Iron, buddy. Thank you so much. It is a bummer. That's what you get for being into sports.
30 years, yeah. So I guess my son's still young. Maybe he'll see it. I don't know. My lifetime. Well, it was famous when the Rangers won in '94. There was a sign in the gardens and was holding, "Now I can die happy." And the guy was waving the sign around after the Rangers won. It was one of the best clips ever. So
yeah, I hear you.
I hope he did die happy. Yeah.
I hope he did. K. Roberts, Davina Duckworth, Mars Monkey Max. And just anybody else who was here that's too far back in the stream for me to find. I want to thank you all for listening. You're too kind. It's great to have you here. Oops. And have a fantastic week. And we will be here for you. Take care, my friends. Farewell.
Clobbrin time! Clobberonimo!
You have to set an example even in the face of stupidity. Now, everybody that reads comic books knows that Kirby's Silver Surfer is the only true Silver Surfer.
I just love Clobbrin time!